It's all going down in Newcastle.
You don't want to miss this one.
Join us for the very first IFL Live at London's Indigo at the O2, Sunday, August the 13th, with me, Kugan Cassius, and some very special guests. Eddie Hearn, Darren Barker, Johnny Fisher, and more. Tickets now on sale. So in the words of Eddie Hearn,
you get up, you dress up, and you fucking show up.
This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. We're at the Caf Royale Hotel here in Piccadilly.
Indeed.
Last time we were here was for the Gail Eubank press conference, you remember?
Gosh, that was a while ago, wasn't it? 3 years ago?
3 or 4 years ago. They
Yeah,
don't really
indeed.
use this venue. It's a good venue though.
Very good venue, an
Yeah.
amazing room here, isn't it? Yeah.
We are here for the second leg of Usyk Dubois press conference. I had the first one in Poland. Usyk's now in London.
Marks out of 10, that venue compared to this venue.
Oh, I like Poland, to be fair.
So that gets a 10 and this gets
No,
a...
it didn't get a 10. I'd give that a 7. The hospitality in Poland was 10, but the venue was at probably a 7. I'd say the Caf Royale probably an 8, 8.5.
You got high standards, Umar.
I'm learning off you. You just had a chat there with Frank Warren. He was talking to the written press. What was he saying?
Well, I'm not going to reveal that because that was with the national media. I had a chat to Frank myself. Look, Frank said this, and George has said this, both of them, quite patently. We're going to create Tyson Fury's own agenda. We don't necessarily need to run to other people's agenda. And that's what they're doing. They're saying, look, this is the Tyson Fury show. Look at the numbers he does. Look how big he is. So we're not going to be dictated to by anyone else. The Undisputed isn't necessarily what we're after. It's what the fans want. I think it's what we all want. But we're going to do it to our own rhythm. And that's their narrative. That's the narrative arc of their story. We might not agree with it. In some ways, I don't agree with it. I think that Undisputed title should have happened already, really. The Joshua fight should have happened already. But this is the way business in the heavyweight division in boxing rolls. You can't change it. You can opine on it, you can have strong views on it, you can be disappointed by it. I think we all have been for months and months. But if they decide this is the way they're going with it, to earn the most money for their guy, and obviously this NGANNOU Fury fight is an enormous financial fight. It's a genuine prize fight, if you like. Yes, it's a crossover. Yes, it's nothing to do with defending the WBC title. And in a way, Fury and Warren have got a buy from the WBC because they've said the mandatory is Wilder, the winner of Wilder-Ortiz. Ruiz, sorry. But Wilder is obviously waiting for the Joshua fight. So it's a chess game or a snooker match, if you like. And there's certain aspects of the game that are snookered right now.
Just stay on. I'm just going to check if it's starting. No, we're all right. No one's on the top table yet.
We're waiting for the press conference to start,
Yeah,
obviously.
we are.
Yeah.
Daniel Dubois is a little bit late. That's why we can still get this done.
Is he still in Poland then? Or did he stay in Poland?
No.
Did you all come back the same day?
We all went the same day and came back the same night. Yeah. So we discussed Fury and NGANNOU and the reaction that it really gathered initially. There's been a lot more backlash over the last 24 hours. Are you surprised? Are you not surprised about the backlash?
No, because nice bike, probably that.
Well, Tyson in his Porsche.
Yeah, it could have been. No, I'm not really surprised because I think everyone wants the Undisputed title. There's been the tease of Usyk several times, the tease of Joshua several times that Usyk will be facing, and it hasn't happened. So people want to see those fights. They want to see meaningful, what people see as meaningful fights. The defense of belts, the fights that give you excitement. There's intrigue for Fury and NGANNOU. It's a one-off, it's a strange fight. But I think what's fascinating is that Queensberry and Top Rank are now dealing with Riyadh season, that 2-month series of events in Riyadh, organised by the Saudi government.
And this is opening that Riyadh season.
And that's opening the season. I've forgotten the date now, October the 28th, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course there's a lot of noise and disgruntlement from the fans. I think a lot of the observers are disgruntled. I'd love to have seen Fury defend the WBC belt. Frank Sanchez, number 4, Arslanbek Mahmoud, I think I've said this to you before, number 5. But they are only using the rules of the WBC, and I'm not sitting here in defence of Tyson Fury. I'm saying what the situation is. I think a lot of people will, or certainly there was a lot of traction for that contest when it was announced on Tuesday, and there was a lot of negative comments about it as well. But at the same time, I think when it comes down to it, once fight week happens, and once people are hovering over that red button at 5 to 10 on October the 28th, they'll probably watch it. It works as an event. It doesn't work for Tyson Fury's legacy. It works for his financial legacy in a business sense, but he's got to fight Joshua. I always say this. I'd like to see him. I think he's got to fight Usyk, maybe more than once, and he's got to fight Joshua as well to complete the era. And maybe, I think Arslanbek Makhmudov as well.
Listen, I'm not sure that Makhmudov fight's going to happen, I'm being totally honest. But I feel like...
Why not?
Because, look, Fury's at that stage where it's about the money. It's
Yeah.
NGANNOU, Joshua, Usyk. He's done Wilder 3 times. I don't think there's any bigger fights.
No, if he has those 3 fights, then he can leave the era. Yeah, and if he wins them all...
There are plenty. There's Bicoli, there's Sanchez,
See, he
Makhmudov.
will always arguably be the number 1 of the era. I think he's the best heavyweight. I think he's not going to fear fighting Usyk. He's got the advantages. He's a much taller, much heavier man.
Someone's having a rave.
He's a bit of a rave going, a mobile rave,
but
yeah.
what I'm saying, he's at that stage, obviously, has been for a while. He's a prize fighter now. So the likes of Hrgović's, Bicoli's, Makhmudov's, even though they're good fights, they don't really make sense. Whereas your Joshua Usyk and Ngannou now obviously fits in that bracket. George Warren believes it's going to be the highest pay-per-view fight of the year.
Well, we'll see about that. I mean, you know, we'll see. We'll see whether it gains traction. What we know is there's a massive site fee for the 2 fighters. You know, Ngannou's manager was out there, I think, in public yesterday saying that it's more than he'll have earned in his whole UFC career. So it's generational money for him. And I bet Fury is probably the bigger end of the deal as well. It wouldn't surprise me if he is. So, you know, what are we talking here? Are we talking
30?
Maybe 30 and maybe 15 for Ngannou. So, million, obviously. So, and that could be UK rather than US. So, it's a very big fight. They kept very tight-lipped about it. I think the big shock this week that it was in Saudi, not here. But I think it wouldn't have been as big an event here as there, because that money's is underwriting it. We don't know what the money is. We don't know how many rounds it is yet either. We do know that it's a fight with 3 judges, 3-minute rounds. I can't imagine it's going to be less than 10 rounds.
We'll see. Gareth, appreciate your time. Press is just about
Pleasure.
to start. We'll speak soon.
Cheers.
It's all going down in Newcastle.
You don't want to miss this one.
Join us for the very first IFL Live at London's Indigo at the O2, Sunday, August the 13th, with me, Kugan Cassius, and some very special guests. Eddie Hearn, Darren Barker, Johnny Fisher, and more. Tickets now on sale. So in the words of Eddie Hearn,
You get up, you dress up, and you fucking show up.